We say life is not a competition, but everything about the human race depicts competition. Even the phrase human race. It's a race. Somewhere, somehow, we're always racing against something, against someone. It's either a race against time, or it's a race against ourselves, or against other people. But today I'm not here to talk about race. Today in Creed 516 we'll be talking about footprints. And my name is Lauli Vitoye. You know that at every point in time, one of the hardest things that actually prevents us from facing the man in the mirror is because when we look into the mirror, rather than see ourselves, we see someone else. We see the current image of someone else. It's almost like a puppy looking into the mirror and seeing a grown tiger. And now the puppy feels incompetent, feels out of place, feels he still has a long way to go. So he wants to grow up to become a tiger. That alone puts so much pressure on the puppy. But still, I'm not talking about pets. The footprints that we see, that those who are ahead of us have left behind, it creates a bar for us that we seemingly want to meet up with. As siblings, we have, for those of us who are not firstborns, those who are ahead of us usually set the bar. They either set it so high or they set it so low. And then there is the expectation from our parents and from friends and families for us to actually meet up with that expectation. The footprint that they've left behind becomes one that we strive, we race to feel, to meet up with. And that can get in the way of our individuality, of us being able to discover who we truly are, because we're so busy trying to meet up with the expectations that have been created for us. We're trying to meet up with the bar, the standards that have been set. It's common in families, at work, in school, even amongst friends. The footprints that others have left behind, the footprint of those who have gone ahead of us, constantly shapes our perspective. It constantly affects how we see ourselves, because we want to deliver, we want to match up to it. I know it's just us, it's just our nature to want to perform, to want to meet up. But how, at what cost? What are we letting go of? Do not get me wrong, and don't take my words out of context. It is good for us to try and be more, to try and meet up to the standards that have been set. But I'm only saying it should not be at the cost of us being our true selves, being the best versions of ourselves that we can be. Like I said, a puppy will never grow up to be a tiger. It would grow up to be the kind of breed of dog that it was born into. It will never be a tiger. So all I'm saying, yes, the footprints are good, they set the standard. But take that standard and let it evolve you into the best version of yourself. So that maybe someday someone will see you and you become their standard. You become their bar. The truth of the matter is that we are all evolving, and our evolutionary process is unique. It will never be the same as the next person, even for a set of twins or a sextuplet. They will never be the same. Our point of evolution is different. Our growth process is different. My level 4 may be your level 10. Your level 2 may be my level 15. We all have it different. The footprints of those who have gone ahead have a way of shaping us. It's not meant to shape us into carbon copies or into wannabes. It's meant to give us an idea of the possibilities of what we can evolve to in our best versions. I remember gaining admission as an undergraduate and into the same school my eldest brother had attended. And he had made a name for himself, interesting, quite a reputation. And do not tell him, I know, okay, anyway, he's going to listen to this. It was called Spirit, for some reasons I'm not going to go into today. But then, that nickname stuck. And for some genetic reasons, we are supposed to look alike. At least that's what everybody says. Now, I remember walking into that school and everyone who knew him automatically figured out that I was his brother. And then there was that same thing again. The expectations, the footprint, the shoe that he had left behind. Everybody had that expectation of, oh, he's Spirit's brother, so, he's going to do just like Spirit. And of course, they expected he's going to do better than Spirit. And that was good. But what I struggled with the most was the fact that if I had to live up to the expectations of being the next Spirit, the world, the school, will never get to see my own version of Spirit, my own version of whatever else name I would have gotten. I would always be seen in the shadow of Spirit. Got so bad that at some point some people didn't even know my name. All they knew was Spirit's brother. And at the point I told myself I had to change the narrative. So someone meets me and calls him Spirit's brother. I tell them, sorry, my name is Lauli. And not because I was trying to cast off the shadow or the footprint, but because I was trying to be me. I wanted to evolve. Yeah, I've seen the bar he had set. That bar was for him. It was not always like that. He evolved into it. So this is me. I should be allowed to evolve into the best version of me, not into a version of him. Siblings should not have to evolve into the version of each other. The firstborn set a bar of who he is. He evolved into it. The secondborn should not have to be like him. Yeah, he came out with the first class, beautiful in physics. Wonderful. You don't have to follow through and go study physics. If you want to study art, study art. And yes, come out with the first class in art. But the idea is for us to be that version of our own selves. Story summary. I ended up getting my own nickname eventually. And it wasn't Spirit. Of course, they tried dubbing me Spirit too, but it was never going to stick. And then, what's called Ghost. Weird. Don't ask. Don't talk about it. And do not comment about it. But Ghost stuck. But this was me. I grew. I earned that name for myself at some point because I was me. In as much as we have a lot in common, my elder brother is a wonderful person in himself, gifted, creative. His mind works like what I can't even describe. But that's him, and this is me. And despite the similarities, our evolutionary process is still completely different. And that's how it should be. The footprint, the footsteps of those who have gone ahead. Our parents, in fact, our mentors, our fathers, our guides, they've left their own footprint. They have evolved. They have shown us what is possible, the kind of levels that are available for us to evolve into. That should be our motivation. That should be our challenge, that I can evolve into something as great as this in my own way. A puppy and a kitten. Wonderful. But they would both grow up into adult versions of themselves, not of the other. A kitten will grow up to be a cat. A puppy would grow up to be a dog. So, what are you growing up to be? The best version of you, or only a copy of those who have gone ahead of you? One statement I made to someone who told me, you're going to have big shoes to fill because your brother did great things. And I replied to him, I said, I don't need his shoes. I came with mine. Not that his shoes are engraved, but my shoes are better because they fit me perfectly. So I encourage you, let the footprints of those who have gone ahead show you what is possible. Show you how far you can go in the journey of evolving yourself. And let it challenge you to be better. Let it challenge you to do more. You can be more. My name is Lauli Victoria, and this is Spin 3516. Have a wonderful time.